I've never heard it used for a condom.
Oh, I've heard absolutely.
But I've heard it used for like other things. They say you didn't.
Never heard that lingo before.
You didn't fucking know. You didn't fucking know. Liar. Liar.
Never heard that term before.
Jamie
I
said,
hear cocksock. I think of like a fleshlight.
That's what I thought.
That's what I think of.
Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast for nerds by nerds. Chaotically Nerdy is a podcast made by adults for adults and children with bad parents, which is me. Adult language and situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week is me, Choomster.
Huh?
I was thinking of what to say. I was going to actually start the podcast with, hey, Chooms and Choomettes. But
And me, Jared. I don't know this
I'm
damn
Tyler.
Cyberpunk lingo.
I'm Jamie.
and this week, the captain's back, obviously.
Hello.
We're going to talk about Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Yeah.
Just
Jamie's
3 years late.
Yeah, 3 years late.
I didn't realize it came out that late long ago. I thought it was like last year.
I thought
Oh, no, I knew it was a while.
End of like 2023.
I forgot that it was. I binged it in a day, and I thought it was like 2023. I was like, oh,
I'm going to
okay,
be
cool.
honest. I thought it was like 2020.
That I can.
I feel like it was so long ago.
But like it was kind of like the resurgence of the game. So I mean, it makes sense. It came out 2 years later than
Yeah.
the game did. So
Yeah. I felt like it was so long ago. But I guess that's a good place to start before we jump in too much, is the fucking lingo. I don't know if you put anything. Jamie made
I didn't.
the script for this.
I think I did. Like
there's some,
choom.
there's
I think like choom. I put in there.
Yeah,
like,
I
not
see like you
gonk or
put
anything.
look Choom proceeds to get air thrusted and promptly whooped by Bruce Lee.
Is it Grok? No. What's
Gonk.
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 It's like idiot.
Yeah.
Like Eddie's is the
That's the money. Which that's easy to figure out on your own.
Yeah, because it's euro. It's like euros and like American money, like American dollar, like mixed together. So it's euro dollars, and they just call it Eddie's.
Oh.
I played a lot of the game.
I have all this lore. I have no.
No thought behind.
I played a lot of the game, and I've read a lot of the books. So
Yeah, it's true. The other thing that we'll talk about that you didn't put on here, but we normally do it, is notable actors. You did put something about it.
yeah,
Fucking Zach Aguilar, who plays Tanjiro.
is
Oh, that's it. Okay.
yeah,
You couldn't tell? It was just Tanjiro cussing.
yeah. That's what when I first watched it, that freaked me
okay.
out.
Some voice actors they sound the same to me. I'll be honest. I thought it was Yuri Lowenthal for like 5 episodes.
I can understand that.
And
But
then
like,
I was like looking it up. I was looking up somebody else, and I was like, "That's not who." I'm like, "Oh, this is not your." Oh, okay, I'm like whatever.
Your goat's in it for like 2 episodes.
yeah. Alex Lee.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being in it, though. That's the bad thing.
no.
I didn't remember me in it.
Who is he?
Who'd he play?
I remember.
He played the guy that like went Bruce Lee on David.
Oh, yeah. I did remember. I heard it. I didn't
Yeah.
know it because I didn't know Alex Lee that well
Yeah,
until
yeah.
after Solo Leveling. But then that time I was like, is that Alex Lee?
Yeah.
And then I forgot that he was in it.
Yeah, that was me. That was me when I rewatched it this time around. I was like, is that Alex Lee?
Yeah. I also didn't remember David being Tanjiro.
Yeah, that was one.
I got one for you. Mao Mao is Lucy.
Yeah, is Lucy.
Yeah. We had to watch Apothecary Diaries, and that's,
Oh yeah, Mao Mao's Lucy.
yeah.
Really?
That's
You-
when I picked up. I was like,
It sounds slightling different.
I was like, this fucking goddamn same monotone voice. I'm like, I know this voice.
Yeah.
Gus Fring is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito.
There's a lot of good ones.
I think there's one more.
The guy that does Adam Smasher is he's fantastic in the game, and then the one
Is it the
episode he's in.
same one that was in the game? It's the same voice actor?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I don't think I got to the part where you fight Adam Smasher.
Oh yeah, same guy. I mean, still fantastic in both ones. He plays a insane like cyborg very well.
So, to tell about what the show is about, just a brief synopsis. It's about a kid named David Aguilar.
No,
David Martinez.
Martinez?
Yep.
Aguilar
I
is
mixed the actors.
Yep.
Hey, close enough. David Martinez who lives in the world of Cyberpunk. He's a teenager. He's going to this fancy school, and his mom dies. And she has a piece of high tech that in the Cyberpunk universe you can attach to yourself and upgrade yourself. He takes it to a dock, does that, and then he becomes a Edgerunner, right? Is that technically, or is it more Cyberpunk?
It'd be the Cyberpunks. Edgerunners are Cyberpunks, and like that's like a name for solos and mercs and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of weird names they throw around. They're all
Rectangles or squares.
Listen, the more we talk
But
about it, the
squares aren't
more...
or wait, no, squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
Yeah,
There's
it's the name. The names are all like they're interchangeable.
Yeah, the more we talk about it, the more my opinion of the show plummets. The more like... We'll talk about that later.
Oh, I got some opinions on this. Why Jamie loves the show so much.
But he... Don't.
I know exactly what you're gonna
say.
say. It's not it. Well,
But now I'm sidetracked, and I lost my train of thought because of that.
if you look at the script, I think part of it is mentioned like later.
David becomes a cyberpunk, and it follows his story of doing that with his newfound crew. Mm-hmm. And then we'll jump into the script. So first note here, Guy doesn't have to listen to his wife yap anymore.
That cop.
What the fuck was that?
The cop at the very beginning talking about how he could have turned his badge in if he wanted to hear, or if he wanted to go hear his wife yap, and it's like, oh, he doesn't have to do that anymore.
Because one of them's bitching about having to be stuck outside. And it's like, I'll just turn my badge in if I want to hear somebody bitching all the time. Next note is, damn, this Infinity Castle is putting Tanjiro through it, which I think is a great fucking note.
Pretty spot on.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then Alex leads just everywhere. We kind of talked about that. He's not a client. That's rough, bud.
I mean, it is like just having trauma teams show up and your mom's just like dying in the street and they're just like, he's not a client. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm just dipping.
That's the dystopian future of Cyberpunk, though.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the fight where you put in Look Choom proceeds to get air thrusted because he did get the shit kicked out of him by that kid.
Yeah, and the guy like air thrusted him back before he started to beat his ass.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Who
bullshit.
told him it was karma that his mom died?
The same guy, Cotswell.
The same guy. Okay.
Yeah, when he called him and he was like,
okay, yeah. That's
what
why
she
he got
deserves.
pissed off.
yeah,
Got it.
That's why
It was karma for her living above her means was essentially what he said. Time to chrome the fuck up, which was I like that line in the show.
I'm good. I'll pass.
That's the next line, but no thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be an army.
Looks painful. Franz Ferdinand fucks. Who? What? What is that?
That's the band that does the intro.
No,
That's Franz Ferdinand.
I think I skip the intro every time.
Oh nah, I'm a huge Franz Ferdinand fan, so that whole thing that theme song
my brain immediately went to the historical figure.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Listen,
I'm like, he was in. I'm like, what the fuck?
parent. My brain went, what's a bull have to do with this?
Ferdinand, yeah, sure.
God, yeah.
Bro became the Flash just to punch
Bruce Lee into a
Bruce
wall.
Lee. Okay, I was like, fuck's BL. He did that. So that's what his the Sandy said.
Yeah.
Devastate.
Yeah,
it also
when he got
pisses me off that they have to shorten everything. I don't know why that pisses me off, but it does.
They don't it's nice to use the full words. Yeah. That's kind of nice for
I think San Devastan sounds so much more badass than Sandy.
And he the first time he activated it, he just rocks a dude into a wall.
Yeah. Which he also didn't really. That's the first time he activated it. Didn't really know what the fuck he was doing, which is fun.
And it hurt his hand. If you remember seeing him, he was like, what the fuck? And they're shaking his hand.
Yeah. Lucy is the main female character that David falls in love with. The first woman I think we see him meet beside his mother. Yeah. I know it's not. I know that it's not. But it's the first one that he talks to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he held the whole scene where he saw her beforehand when she was he saw her hair.
She got a little too touchy in their first meeting in public. I don't remember that at all.
When she got up on him, ripped his jacket off and was pressing him up against the train car. It was
I don't remember that.
It was a lot for your first meeting of someone.
I vaguely remember that, and I watched it a week ago.
I watched it yesterday. Actually, I watched it today. So
Lucy's a little crazy. which you kind of have to be an Edgerunner.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Then they go to the moon.
Yeah. Why? It's sad.
Listen, I'm gonna have you take over in this because half of these I read them and I'm like, what the fuck does this mean?
No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's
like I said,
train of
The
thought.
next one,
It's-
Franz Ferdinand still fucks. Just saying.
Is there one for every episode?
I was going to, but no.
The bit? Okay.
I wish he would have at this point.
I dropped it off at some point. But no, the whole "you fell over the edge" punk, that's like one of my favorite lines from the show. When like you first meet Maine, and Maine like tells him like you flew over the edge when they're on the moon, and like wakes up and rocks his shit.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite lines.
It's at the end of like the second episode, or
Yeah, when Maine's about to kill him and whatnot. Okay,
Sure.
because he stole the Sandev stand from Maine.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
technically.
Maine's because he was buying it from his mom. I remember that. I just don't remember that line.
Yeah.
Or
But Lucy kind of sucks for the first like half of the show, or for the first couple episodes. I really hated her the second episode, especially the first time I watched it.
I kind of don't really give a shit about her character the whole time. I'm not
That's
gonna lie.
also she kind of doesn't do anything
Yeah,
after like
she's-
episode like 6.
She's like, well, that's the thing. She's kind of like part of the party, but not really for the first like 3 episodes because she's just stealing those chips
Yeah,
at the beginning. And then she doesn't really do anything because they've got whatever the other one is, Kiwi.
yeah.
They got Kiwi doing all the actual running
They,
shit.
for me, they have not like that. That's my one issue I do have with the show is they did not touch on her character at all. Like you get her backstory later on, but they don't really do anything with it. They just be like, oh, she's super cool. It's like you think Arasaka's after her, maybe, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll get yeah. Rebecca looks like a lolly. That threw me off the first time I watched it. I thought it was a child, and then I watched her like when she spilled the drink on that guy, and
Yeah.
like she got touchy. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
I agree with that. She does look very childlike.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off my first time watching it. I'm not gonna lie, but also David's speed looks a lot better than the Flash movie. I just wanted to put that in there.
I think me running outside could look better than the Flash movie.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, they look faster too.
I doubt it.
I
Not
will
at
say-
this age.
Studio Trigger does handle the property really well, in my opinion. I think they handled like I really like the animation. I think it fits like the way the world is. I think it fits the world very well.
It reminds me of an older animation style, not like the new like Mappa style.
Yeah.
It's a lot more like Cowboy Bebop or
It looks like updated, like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're the same ones that did Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
But they're also Studio Trigger is founded by a bunch of people that worked on Neon Genesis and did a bunch of those like 90s animes. So that sucked.
it was refreshing to see like, oh,
Yeah.
this is like nostalgic for a show that I'm like, it's not nostalgic, but I'm
Yeah.
like the animation style, I'm like, oh, this is like takes me back.
It was also nice, like that older, like you said, that older style of animation that's not super consistent in the sense of like how the bodies look. Like there's one scene where Maine looks proportionate to a human, and then another scene where his head's like this big and his body's like massive. So that was always kind of neat. And Maine fighting the tiger claws was also kind of nice when he like blew that one's head off as it was trying to kill.
Most of the fights, like in general, were just pretty badass because it's very high explosion, high action. So they're
Super
fun to
high.
watch.
Super high octane. Gus Fring still has 4 eyes because glasses thing.
Why does he have 3? Why does he have 3 L's on that side? Is there like lore?
No,
Okay.
there's-
I don't think it's it's just they updated. Like that's part of the cyberpunk thing. You just start doing shit to do it.
Yeah, like you can get different eyes, and if you have more, then like it doesn't really.
I didn't know if it was like like
No.
lenses on your camera.
The-
You're like, we got a wide view. We got a
No,
super-
I mean
Some of the-
realistically, yeah.
Some of the eyes are like some of the eyes like you get like a 10 times zoom or a 20 times zoom or so on and so forth. Something Franz Ferdinand again. But I did get a little freaked out by Maine and Dorio, like when she like punched his nose and his nose started bleeding. She like licked his bloody nose and then they started making out like tongue fencing. Wasn't a fan of that. That was a little freaky. That freaked me out.
Hold on. You just said the point, but I want to read it the way you wrote it down
Okay.
because it reads so much better than what you just said.
Yeah.
All right. Licking a bloody nose before tongue fencing is crazy.
Like I said, I did watch this morning, so like Although this is from this morning. So
I mean, I like it.
yeah.
It's right up my alley.
Rebecca answering the door with a gun in David's face is an insane way to answer a door like she did.
I don't think it's that insane for the world they live in.
No. I don't know if I said it earlier. Why are Pilar's arms so long? That threw me off the first time I watched it. There's the thing is, the reason it freaks me out because there's no one in the games that has arms like that.
It's just what he upgraded to.
It's just him.
He's like, I want long arms. Go ahead.
The better to slap
Go ahead.
you with.
Go ahead. Read this next one. Go read it. Read it, bitch.
What the fuck is a cocksock? What
I don't even remember this in the show.
Oh, I remember it because Maine tells David to put. He's like, make sure you wear a cocksock.
Like, get your cocksock, all that, and like, what the fuck is a cocksock?
I probably just missed it.
Maybe it's one of those things that those guys like on the street had when they were watching.
Are you legitimately asking what a cocksock is?
No.
Are you sure? You also didn't.
I've never heard that lingo before, so
I've never heard it used for a condom.
Oh, I've heard absolutely.
But I've heard it used for like other things. See, you didn't.
Never heard that lingo before.
You didn't fucking know. You didn't fucking know. Liar. Liar.
Never heard that term before.
Jamie said,
I hear cocksock. I think of like a fleshlight.
That's what I thought.
That's what I think of.
I thought.
No, I've always thought of condom.
I thought of like those pump things that the guys like that were just on the street were using when they had like the XBDs. They were just like sitting there on the street. Every time you saw David walk by, you saw like those guys like twitching out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were using like the pump things and they were watching like XBDs every time. Because David like sits under one when the guy's like sitting up his legs.
Listen, I think we're reading way too far into a cyberpunk
Oh no, 100%.
saying because it could be anything in the cyberpunk world. Realistically,
Being a Netrunner seems 100% oddly erotic. A lot more than it needs to be. Like every time Kiwi or Lucy were laying there, they were like, I'm not gonna make the noises.
he's right though. They did moan oddly.
Like a little too much, in my opinion. Getting Chrome looks a lot worse than it does in the game. In the game, it's just, I'm gonna click this button, Chrome. This is like, I'm gonna rip your spine out and I'm going to cut you open and rip your lungs out.
I mean, because that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it is. It's terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Also, Pilar kind of deserved what happened to him. He kind of deserved to get shot in the face for that one.
Why?
He was being a bit of a dick to the dude. I mean, doesn't deserve to get shot in the face. But in the world of Night City, like, being a bit of a dick.
I feel like everybody's a dick in the night.
That's the thing. Like, he could have been a lot worse.
He could have been a lot worse.
That was the thing.
Yes.
He was basically in his ear just telling him, quit pissing on my turf.
Yeah. But, like, also, like, just walking up to a random dude that looks chromed up and you literally make the acknowledgement that he is chromed up, like, you should be like, oh, this guy might, shoot me in the face. I shouldn't do this.
If you play like I do, you just shoot them first.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I do it too. So I mean,
that's why I was confused. I'm like, why we know just kill this man?
Yeah. When he didn't stop pissing on your turf.
That's why I expected somebody to just go like.
I mean, I will say David like using the Saint Evanston to like pop up and like shoot him in the head. That was really cool. That like looks cool. This is again like fight scenes in the show look fantastic.
Yeah.
Cyber Psychosis I think is portrayed really cool in the show, like with like the glitching out eyes and like you see them like kind of gloss over and like kind of freak out kind of thing. I think it looks really cool.
At least it's portrayed that you can like tell that it's happening.
Yes.
It's not just I guess they were in cyber psychosis type thing because they did this.
Yeah, you it's portrayed like you know what's happening. Okay, that didn't
gonna take you there myself.
Oh, that's when see it didn't jog. That one didn't jog anything. That was the most normal thought I put on this page, and it didn't jog. It
didn't jar one loose.
You wonder why mine are so stupid sometimes.
You gotta have some stupid joke to be like, this is why.
Yeah.
That's the most normal thing. But no, it was that was a really nice scene, like really kind of sweet in like a moment, and like a really depressing anime.
Which that's just nice. When That's when David is talking to Lucy about taking her to the moon, right?
And they first they have their moment.
They fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know why you skated
I don't
around
know.
it.
Yeah,
I have never known you.
It's something about that chair. It makes everybody in it a prude. They don't want to say the naughty words.
But also, what a way to wake your boyfriend up when Maine like passed out and fucking Dorio was rocking his shit, like just knocking, like punching him in the face repeatedly. That's insane. Like I feel like if Angel did that to me, I wouldn't do anything.
You deserve to take it.
He said I wouldn't do. I feel like he started that off so aggressive. I feel like if Angel did that to me, I would
He's like,
sit there and take it. You know,
I would 100% just sit there and take it. Also, BDs are that's a crazy way to take in media now. Is just like have like a screen like.
Yeah, and you're just
like
there.
into your brain.
We're on our way, bud. We're on our way.
I mean, that's not.
I mean, here's the thing that I think would be great about it is learning from certain situations.
Yes, using them for like experiences and like for like trainings for different jobs
Yeah.
would be really cool. Using it in the way they do, really really weird. Not weird. No,
You
it's
do
not.
it.
100%
You'd be the
don't.
first one.
I would 100%. I would.
Be an early adopter.
I would sign up for testing.
Yes. Be like, I'll be down.
That's gonna be the title. I would sign up for testing Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Also, old dude having hands rocking main shit was really surprising.
Yeah, but see, I don't think that's surprising because all that is you just plug in a chip and now you got hands.
No, I mean it's not. It's just it was unexpected.
The
on
guy-
my first time watch, I didn't expect him to like.
We literally seen his own kid fucking have hands from
That's
the chip.
true.
So
It was
that's
the
true.
exact same
The
chip.
Yeah.
The needle things in the hands is not something you can get in the games. That was surprising. Or in the game. That was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah.
The arm launcher is something you can get, and it sucks. Also, the XBD guy just getting a needle to the throat,
Yeah.
and just bleeding out right there. Also, the laugh he gave to David was really creepy.
It was supposed to be.
I mean, yes, I know it was. Also, Maine and David looking alike is
So we're jumping to the episode where it opens where David's steroided up.
So basically,
no, right. We're in, now the episode we're in is the episode where Maine is like you see Maine running and he looks like David.
Oh, maybe.
this
I mean,
at the start of
facial.
that episode, they're of similar builds. I can
Yeah.
see what you're coming from that.
Because like he looks like David within like
Because he tells him whenever
Dropped
he's
up.
like promises, Maine's like, yeah, you can have my arms when you die. When I die,
yeah,
He's like,
He's
better
like-
bulk up, kid.
yeah.
Start the episode off. I'm like, oh, he bulked up. I'm like, has he got the arms?
But like
does.
cyberpsychosis as a whole seems really depressing. Obviously, it would be someone goes insane and starts murdering people.
I don't think it would be. Here's the thing: it's more depressing in the show because you see it.
Because we like the characters.
Not even because you like the characters. Like, let's take Maine for example. You see him go through cyberpsychosis, and you see how he's going through it. He's reliving that running in the
The
past.
gradual
Yeah.
progression of him getting worse and
Exactly.
worse and worse.
Yeah.
Did you feel anything for the other two characters, that,
Oh.
or other not including David, but like the first guy who had to send Devistan, or the guy who shot
No.
Pilar?
Yeah.
So see, that's you
That's
have an
fair.
they're adding an emotional connection
That's fair.
by playing.
That's fair. Also, yes, Maine, this is your fault.
Yeah, it
that
is.
was terrifying when like you saw him like look and like this is my fault and like starts like murdering them. It's like oh god. And he used the target's body to split the other guys in half.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy. Also,
Cyberpsychosis.
it does. I think it's supposed to be like unlock all like blockers from your cyberware everything, so it makes you essentially a tank.
Yeah, it gives you like full power.
Yeah. Just keep running. I mean, that is a quote that I've heard since the show came out. Because like when Maine is talking to David and tells him just to keep running and keep going, and David doesn't listen, and so that's kind of depressing. But
Well, David's not good at listening.
no, it's not.
If there's one thing I picked up from the show, it's that David
You
doesn't
don't listen.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
He's also a fucking teenager, so
He is. He's like 16, 17 years old. He did say he would take his arm. And
Yeah.
he did take his arm.
he did, which is more impressive because he had to go back and get him, didn't he?
No, he was.
Well,
right-
no, it was like he like when
When he
Maine
blew up, he used the sand.
Like he goes sand to stand. He like rips off, and it looks almost like David gets caught in the explosion, like gets
Yeah.
blown up, but then he like appears in the car.
Yeah.
With
Also,
the arm.
David looks like a fucking gorilla whenever he shows up again.
Maine did too, though.
I mean,
Same.
yes.
I mean, they're just-
you can't say that because
I can say that because he looks like he has the body of a gorilla. I don't
fair.
give two shits that he was a black character. It's
that's
just
fair.
Yeah,
him, and they used the same model for David as they did for Maine.
It
You
was
can't tell me any
crazy.
different.
Also, David lost his neck, and then
Yeah.
when it happened, it was
what happens when you fucking gain 500 pounds of muscle?
And also,
It wasn't that. See, here's the thing.
hyperbole. It's hyperbole. Yeah.
he gained,
Well, I don't mean it like that. I just mean like, did he really gain the muscle, or did he just fucking chrome up that much and add it?
Yeah.
he gained the muscle, and
I didn't say earned it. I said gained.
That's true.
He gained it, and then also gained like 2 feet
Yeah.
in height.
That's the first one I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going through the process of being chromed, you're gonna make me taller, bitch.
Also,
I'm gonna do stupid tall too.
what?
Like
Again, I know
7'8".
No, like 8'6".
No, I'm gonna do like 10.
I'm not gonna fit.
I'm doing like 10 feet. Then I can just get a contract in the NBA, and I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Also,
Everybody would be 10 feet though,
yeah, fair.
because if you have access to it,
Yeah,
everyone has
it's true.
access to it.
That's fair. That's fair. Becca's hands, like going to like being the giant, like. Sorry, how did she like fit her fingers in for the guns and like? That's just that.
It's an anime. Don't ask fucking questions.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I was gonna ask a more sex-oriented question with the hands, but then I didn't. So.
Oh, you mean like fit in the butthole or what?
Just like
Fit around the cock?
yeah, like how does it like not just crush it? Like
See? Hey, so with that fucking chair.
like how does it not just?
Just the random the fit around the cock
Spit it out, boy.
or swallow if that's your taste.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't care.
Also, I was gonna make an Aaron. I made an Aaron joke because the voice actor for the kid that got like blown up by the mine. What is Bryce Papenbrook? The guy that voices Aaron.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I was gonna make an.
I
Aaron.
did recognize him. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's dead.
I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
I guess
Also, there's a lot of ass in this show.
there's a lot of ass and titties.
And
Bush.
titties. And a lot of no. There's
remember
no
seeing
no.
Bush
There's,
at
The
all.
there's,
first time they show you a BD.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, ah, damn, that's a lot of bush.
also,
I was off guard.
why does every vagina in this show have like a cross on it? Like the arrows that are on it. It's like, are you telling them where to go? Like, what's happening?
Listen, you know this world much better
Yeah.
than me.
I had a question of like, why are Kiwi's nipples blue? There's like a scene. I don't know if it's just the lighting, but they're blue for
Oh
some
no,
reason.
yeah, I know which one you're talking
Yeah,
about. They definitely are.
And I'm like,
I know
why?
her nipples aren't just blue in the lighting. They aren't
Yeah.
just blue in the bath. They're blue when she goes out into the normal lighting area.
So, do you know?
Implants.
Okay. Just a random thought I had. I was like, yeah, why are her?
I mean, why is Lucy's skin almost translucent and like?
because she's a main character.
That's fair. That's fair. Japanese
She has
people
to
don't
be
like dark
pure.
skinned people as main characters. Arasaka is also evil in every single piece of Cyberpunk lore and writing.
Well, that's because
Period.
Cyberpunk is kind of based off of. It's not based off of, but it's built like it's a massive against capitalism. So they pick a
Yeah.
big company. Like to compare it to, if we were in a Cyberpunk, Amazon would
Yeah.
be Arasaka
Yeah.
essentially,
Mhm.
because they're just a
Yeah.
giant company that
Or
does
Apple.
everything. Or Apple.
Or,
Well,
or Apple. It'd be a giant tech company.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. No, yeah. It's very capitalist based with the whole, having to pay. Like, if you don't have the right insurance, you don't get picked up by the paramedics. So, yeah, it's kind of neat them talking about trying to send Lucy beyond the Black Wall, which was, they didn't call it the Black Wall, but in the game, in the game and like all the books and everything, there's something called the Black Wall that goes into where the old net was, and it's where a lot of the AIs are. It's kind of a big focal point of the game, is you're trying to get to an AI named Alt to get beyond the Black Wall. Well, not that's what a lot of like Arasaka is trying to do, is get beyond the black wall, take care of those, like kind of rule over all that. That way they can rule the net. The black wall is very interesting to talk about, not talk about, but like kind of learn about. And it's also really cool they kind of put it in here without like talking about it. That's a neat.
Didn't play enough of the game. Apparently,
I've played through. I have like 700 hours.
How do you think I feel? I haven't played any of the game.
it's true.
I'm lost all the time. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. People be
How
fighting each other.
So here's my question: how confused were you the first time they called someone a chum?
I immediately picked. I'm like, this is some sort of lingo. I don't know what it means. I'll figure it out.
That's how I was. When I
Did
first
you
played
ever
the game.
figure it out though?
No,
Okay, because I'm still in the same boat.
I don't know what chum
just
is.
means
I just
bro.
know. I just know. Yeah, I just know you call people chum.
It's just bro.
Yeah, but half the time they call it whenever they're like almost mad at people too.
Yeah, I mean, that's like
So,
you're calling
like,
someone
fuck
your
you,
friend.
bro.
It's like fuck you,
But
dude.
it's not
Like,
even people that they consider bros. It's fucking.
It's more one of those like, oh, you're calling someone your friend, but they're not actually your friend. Like when you're like yelling at someone,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pal.
like that. Like,
You got a problem, buddy?
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I guess, okay, that makes much more sense. Now that I put it in the frame of you got a problem, buddy,
Yeah.
it clicks,
Also, Lucy's like a net running Punisher.
apparently.
That was interesting. Net running is fun. Like doing net running stuff is fun because you can like burn people out and like.
Which just happened.
I breathed.
Okay, I thought that was him
Nope, it wasn't me.
because you somehow got a word out and then did that. So that's why I was confused.
I tried to breathe while talking.
It's what most people do, James.
Watching David go crazy after like from when it looked like he was kind of had like lingering effects from when he was talking to that one lady, or not talking to the one lady, when he was talking to the Jimmy Kurosaki or whatever his name was, the XPD guy, because he kept selling like the guns come out of people's heads and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was kind of leaning back to like
Yeah.
that whole
So
style.
he just takes more immunosuppressants and just keeps fucking.
just
That's true. He does
Power
just
on.
like,
she's powered through it. He is like taking him to the point where he can't take him anymore. But also they talk weird when they're on the phone calls. Like they talk like they're spazzing out.
that was hard. That was one of the hardest things for me to watch because I had subtitles on. So I was seeing, because, you know, it pops up like
Yeah.
as you're watching it. So I'm seeing it in like two different places and it
don't-
just like threw me off.
That threw me off because they don't talk like that in the game, like on the phones or whatnot. So like that threw me off when I first watched it. It's like round. What are you doing? Like I'm like okay.
It's very like robotic whenever
Well,
they do the phone calls
part-
instead of.
Part of me feels like it's because it's coming straight from like their brain, so any thought they have is going straight through as the phone call because they're not talking when they do it; they're just like
Thinking it.
So it's going straight through as their thoughts rather than actual.
Couldn't do that. I have too many intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
Yeah.
David also hasn't done anything for himself in the show. Like nothing he did in the show was for him. It was all.
That's not true.
I mean,
The Sandy. Him implanting the Sandev
That-
stand
that-
is the
that was-
first thing he done for himself.
that's the only thing he's done for himself
Yeah.
because he's everything else is a promise to
Well-
his mom, promise to Maine.
We don't get to see it, but the rest of the upgrades he does too, technically for himself.
I mean, not really, because Maine told him to chrome up. Maine told him to chrome up and like be stronger, and he's doing it because Maine told him to, and for Maine.
Yeah, but there at some point, like after Maine dies,
Yeah.
at some point he's doing it for himself because
Yes.
he keeps doing it.
Yes, yeah, that's fair. Also, Kiwi, you bitch.
That's what had me snickering a minute ago.
Like, what the fuck?
Well, they start off the show as soon as he meets the crew. They're like, "You can't trust anybody more than yourself."
I mean, they
was
did.
basically what they said.
That
so-
doesn't that doesn't mean I don't. That doesn't mean I like it. Doesn't mean I want to see it.
Yeah.
It still sucks.
I think most people seen it coming.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
mean,
That somebody was going to turn.
Oh no,
kinda-
I knew someone was going to. I thought it was gonna be Lucy. I'm 100% honest when I first watched it. So yeah, Lucy's been trying to keep David safe from Arasaka, which was kind of interesting to see. Like they were like, why they were so interested in him was for the cyber skeleton, and he ended up doing exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he ended up doing exactly what they wanted, which was that was interesting to see. I liked that. Also, Militech brought a little overkill, didn't they?
I don't
Well,
think so because it didn't fucking work.
yeah.
I mean, but I don't think they knew that. I don't think they knew exactly what they were going into. I think they just
They were like, oh, you know what? Were they the ones transporting the
That was Arasaka's trying.
So
Yeah.
they were going to try and take it. So they were like, all right,
That was the
somebody
thing.
could jump in that
Okay,
thing.
yeah, that's fair.
So we got to come out here and fucking kill them.
Because they knew what it was. So.
Yeah.
Also, like the fight scenes with inside of the cyber skeleton, cool as hell. With like the gravity thing when he was like using the grav like to push down, that was really cool. Also the "You're right, mom," because like when he was talking to Becca and he screamed like "You're right, mom" as they were like on the truck going to Arasaka Tower. That was
he's losing his mind.
because it's like going insane.
Because he's just like just pumping himself full of these super high grade immunosuppressants.
Yeah. Also, it freaked me out watching Faraday reach through another guy's chest to shoot Kiwi.
Yeah.
He shot Kiwi. Because that's what he did. The other guy didn't shoot. He just like reached through the guy's chest and shot Kiwi.
Yep.
Like that was kind of terrifying. Also, hitting an AV with a car is insane. The way they did it is what made it kind of... The cars move like... I know it's an anime. Cars move like they're not cars in the show.
Yeah, that's how anime cars work.
Yeah. That's true.
Usually.
They kind of work like that in the game, too. Like, some of them will just bolt over randomly.
Kind of. But nowadays, they just work like cars, and it's kind of annoying. They don't do...
Just work like cars, and it's kind of annoying. I like that.
They do. Also, Adam Smasher, still terrifying.
Yep.
Watching him do what he did was insane.
It was funny, too, that he kind of downplayed David the whole time.
Yeah.
Because every time they talk about it, he's like, he's a child.
He's like, it's a kid and kid's toy. Like,
It's like, he said something about the gravity. He's like, it's just, without that, he's nothing, essentially.
It's because like when he killed him, he was like, you have to stand with your gravity, with your gravity cannons or whatever. Also, they made it to the moon. At least they made it, or she made it.
I guess.
What?
I guess they made it.
She did. She did. Also, I really want to stay at your house because that's the name of the song at the end of the show, and it's a really depressing song. Every time I hear it, it makes me sad. So
I don't even remember the song. So now we'll hop into the reviews. IMDb's got an 8.3 out of 10 with 101 reviews. 101,000 reviews, sorry. Episode 1's a 7.8. Episode 2 is an 8.1. Episode 3 is a 7.8. Episode 4 is an 8.6. Episode 5 is an 8.0. Episode 6 is a 9.1. Episode 7 is an 8.0. Episode 8 is an 8.2. And episode 9 is a 8.5. And episode 10 is a 9.3. So 2 above 9 and 2 below 8. Yeah. 2 above 9 and 2 below 8. The rest are 8s or somewhere in that middle.
I think it's pretty fair for the show.
Yeah.
6 and 10 were the best episodes in the show. So
I mean, yeah, because 6 is where Maine loses his shit.
yeah, 10 is
And 10 is where David loses his shit.
10's the finale.
Yep. Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 100% tomato meter and a 95% popcorn meter. Now, with animated shows, we know Rotten Tomatoes doesn't always have the best reputation, I guess is the best way to say it. They don't have a whole lot of people that review them on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's not a high enough sample size really to be an accurate judge sometimes.
Because usually, like, the anime have 2 or 3 critics. So your tomato meter is either going to be 100 or 50. Like, there's not really a good...
I think Rotten Tomatoes loved The Promised Neverland season 2, so I don't really trust Rotten Tomatoes often.
Well, it also just depends on, like, for the popcorn meter, it just depends on who put it in. And it's, I mean, realistically, it's the same way with the tomato meter. So now, tell me why does Jamie love this show?
Oh, it's just because it's as close to hentai as you can get without actually watching hentai. It's defensible. There's so much nudity in this show.
There is a lot.
That I'm like...
There's so much that I blocked it out of my brain after the first watch and went, do they really get this naked all the time?
I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, not the reason, but it doesn't hurt it.
It's almost exactly what I thought he'd say. Like, it's not the reason, but it doesn't detract from it. It doesn't
knock it down any.
Not a negative.
It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, Titties.
Titties. Am I right, guys?
So here's my next question. I know Jamie's played it. I've played it. Would you play it after watching the show?
No.
Okay.
It didn't like make me be like, oh, I gotta play it now. I'm like, I don't care.
I mean, it's not supposed to because it's not really that tied into the game. Like the show and the game are not tied in whatsoever. You don't have to watch.
I mean, you
don't have to play one to watch the other.
You can get David's jacket in the game.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Didn't know they had that in there.
Yep.
Is that a thing they came out with after the show came out?
Yeah.
Like,
I've worn it for every playthrough that I've played since the show came out.
Figured.
Of course you did.
Yep.
They have 16 critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
With an average rating of 8.8 out of 10, which apparently gives it a 100% tomato meter. I guess if they're positive, it counts towards the... It doesn't say how many audience, though. It doesn't give me that number. They're coming out with a second season-ish of this, correct?
That's a rumor. That they're coming out with another... Not the second season of this specifically, but another Cyberpunk anime. Because
I knew that. Like, it wasn't going to be... it wasn't going to follow anybody because it can't, really.
It can follow Lucy, I guess, but
because they're
just going to add new characters.
Yeah, because they're still really focusing in the world of Cyberpunk. Because I mean, they're coming out with another game, and they're developing another game for the world because they're focusing on The Witcher 4 and the next game.
What's the next game it be called? Do we know?
It's just called Project Orion right now.
Cyberpunk 2078.
Probably be further in the future, but yeah.
Yeah.
2099,
Maybe.
probably.
Oh, yeah, it'd be cool.
That would be. That would be.
And then you'll get to
cool
see
name.
That is pretty cool.
29.99.
Oh,
that way you can see 3,000.
That would be kind of neat.
I just also think because which I didn't know. We was talking D&D whenever I asked Jamie B on this episode.
Yeah.
That this was a fucking thing from the 80s. This property.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
It came out back in the 80s.
My brain was like, oh, yeah, it's just totally something Project CD Red just came up with, like, out of their fucking ass. They're just like, here you go.
No,
this
it's
is
old.
like a whole universe.
But it's also, it's funny to me, this is what they think that the world will look like in, what is it, 52 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, they're crazy.
I hope so. I want to send
Well, even the lore, like,
I'd love to be, how old will I be?
Is there one that's, like, right around this time? Like, isn't there, like, one that's, like, 2022 or something?
2023 is when Johnny Silverhand dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
already not.
Oh my god, this is insane.
I would be 84 in 2077.
Yeah.
Well,
Can you imagine my old ass in a nursing home with a Sandevistan?
I said I wanted more pudding.
Its fucking head explodes.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean that's like Night City and lore was like built in the 90s. So
Yeah. Of course it was.
I love it.
So now we get to rate it. Oh, it's me.
Go first, bitch.
Okay, so I have to put a disclaimer here.
Set the bar.
The first time I watched it, I would have given it like an 8.7 or like an 8.8.
Oh no, we're following Ethan's rating scale, aren't we? The more we watch it, the less we like it.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I'm going to give it like a 7.9. Like I think it was good. I just, this second watch through made me dislike it as much because I think so much little shit that didn't matter happened.
yes,
And that made me unappreciate the important shit. It depreciated the important shit that happened that I remembered from the first watch.
There's important shit inflation.
Yeah, sure. Jarrett.
I give it a 7.5. It would probably be higher if I liked the world. I don't care. I'm not like it's not my thing. I have no attachment to this world. Like, yeah, cool. It's fine anime.
yeah.
I would not. Ethan wouldn't want me to roll right now, so fuck him.
I don't care. I'd give about an 8 for me.
I thought you were gonna be higher.
It was like a 9.2 when I first watched it because it was nice. It felt good. The story. It was also a world that I loved. It's also still a world that I love. But as Tyler said, a lot of non-important shit happens, and the pacing really throws me off because it's like 1 minute we're here and the next minute we're already here, and it apparently happened in like the beginning of when David joined the group. to the end was like, it feels like a couple days, but it happened in like a couple weeks. That still doesn't feel like enough time for all that to happen. And then you get a 6-month time skip, and then you get into right before David dies.
Yeah.
So like,
it's hard to keep up with the timeline, that's for sure, because they don't really give you
any markers of like
how long it's
time,
been. It just
like we don't know how long Gloria's been dead. Like we know she's been dead about 6 months by the time he dies, but because it takes place about a year before.
Yeah, it takes place in 2076.
Yeah,
I knew that.
So like,
I did catch that.
That's all I really catch up with.
Well, anything else you want to bring up about the show, Jarrett?
I did spoil myself on like when they first mentioned Adam Smasher. I was like, "Who the fuck's this guy?"
Oh, so then you looked it up.
I'm like, well, okay. That might also maybe why I didn't really enjoy it, because it's like, oh, I have no emotional attachment to this character now because he's gonna fucking die. The main character's like, oh, he's gonna die. I'm like, okay, I don't care. But I was like, oh, because they when they first mentioned him, if again, outsider, never played the game, I'm like, oh, this guy sounds like a hero. Not a hero.
No, not at all.
They really whitewashed that part.
Terrifying.
Oh, this guy's a bad guy. Okay.
It is funny that you kind of hear different people talk about Adam Smasher differently.
Yes.
Like some people, like the people in Arasaka, and even in the game, I remember the few times they talked about Adam Smasher, it was like, if you wanted to chrome up a bunch, Adam Smasher was the person to look up to, because he's basically full chrome.
Yeah.
But if you were doing bad shit and you thought he may come for you, he was the fucking boogeyman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not even that. It's if you're against Arasaka, he
could be your boogeyman.
Yeah. And I mean, he just looked like a walking nightmare kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, but that's part of it. He's supposed to.
Yeah,
it's supposed to show the loss of humanity the more that you... Yeah. That's why they look more monstrous as they...
Them and the Marauders, like, he's very much like the Marauders, which is the group that they saw, like, where their eyes were, like, giant red circles, and they had their faces taken off.
Yeah.
But I've always wondered why Adam Smasher doesn't go through cyberpsychosis.
He's special.
Yeah, he's special, just like David.
Yeah.
Well,
except for, David wasn't as special.
Yeah. I guess that was a question. It's like, is there other people that are just like crazy special like that, or is he the only one? Like
there's another character in the universe that is just as strong as Adam Smasher with infinitely less chrome, called Morgan Blackhand. You hear him mentioned a lot in the games. Every once in a while.
I think I very vaguely remember that name from the Wikipedia read.
Yeah, he is the one. Well, I mean, he's the one that fought Adam Smasher when Johnny Silverhand died, and Adam Smasher disappeared for like 50 years, and then shows back up in 76. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that will wrap up this episode. We appreciate you guys listening. You can use the link in the description, and you can go to our Discord and tell us all about what you thought about this show if you watched it.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't, go watch it, then go tell us. Thanks for listening.
See you later, Tubes.